Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Intern Top 5, where the interns at Explora talk about our 5 favorite things in several different categories. Today, we are going to be talking about our top 5 entertainers. I'm your host, Clarissa, and today I'm joined by my co-hosts,
Sean.
And I'm Xavier.
And we're joined by a special guest.
Hi, I'm Marisol. I am a incoming freshman at the University of New Mexico studying cinematography and film production, so we'll see how that goes. Mm-hmm. And a fun fact about me is I hate swimming.
What?
Yeah, can't do it.
Is that why you didn't like the logo I made?
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
I got a thing about pools. It's
Wow.
it's like people soup, and I can't get over it. It's so gross.
Oh.
But you can swim.
No, I can't swim.
Oh, you can.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could survive if you threw me in the water. I could
So-
flail my arms around, and I would stay afloat.
I don't. That's what drowning people do.
Right, but I wouldn't be drowning.
As a lifeguard, I can say that is what drowning people do.
Well, okay, that's fair. Then I
That's-
guess I don't have.
That's what
my
people do
swimming.
right before they
I
drown.
failed swim classes actually.
That's
What?
okay.
They didn't let me pass.
You failed. Like, for what?
I couldn't swim.
Like your swimming certificate or something?
I don't even know, man. Couldn't tell you.
How do you fail a swim? Like,
You don't know how to swim. That's how you fail.
You know, because when you go through swim lessons, they graduate you at the end. They're like, you know how to swim.
Like
But
when
she's gotta
doggies go
swim.
through like their training to be like trained dogs, and they get their little cute certificate. I think they have a certificate.
the dogs
Rip.
that fail that are really
Reject dog.
You can buy them.
Aw,
Like,
really?
Like the police dogs that were too nice to be police dogs.
Oh,
and they're super cute, but
I would buy it.
yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
And with that, who wants to kick off?
Did we
Their
say
top
what our
5 list.
thing
Yeah.
was? Okay.
Yes, we did.
No. Sean, you want to start off? Or our
Start off with
special
my
guest?
5th one?
Yeah, start off
Or
at number
guess
5.
first?
So how do you do it? Is it like your number 1 is your number 1 favorite, or
Yes.
number
Yeah.
5 is
So
your...
we go 5
Number 1.
to
5
1.
to 1.
5 to 1.
Oh.
5
is the
to
worst.
Oh, got
One is
you.
the best.
Okay.
So you want to start with your number 5?
Sure.
No, I'm
Was
talking
that?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
that
talking
was for me. Let me think. Let me think if I have like the worst one that I don't really like.
We can start with Sean if you want.
Yeah, I can go.
Go for it.
Organize your list.
my thoughts.
1/5. This one's only on my 5th because I haven't watched him in a while. But Dude Perfect. I used to love him in high school and like, so I think I started in maybe sophomore year of high school. Is when I got into YouTube because I didn't have a phone until then. So I was like sick, discovering all these cool people and what I liked in YouTube. And what really caught my eye was like trick shots and like Nerf battles. I was into just watching that. Yes.
Nerf
And they do
battles used
skits
to be
now.
fun.
And they do other fun stuff now. I would probably watch them again, but I don't really watch YouTube anymore.
Yeah.
I just kind of got bored, but they were really cool people.
Yeah.
Dude Perfect, trick shots and all that. Yeah.
That
so
sounds
sad.
cool. When we were little, we used to watch like the YouTube videos about like people who would like drop watermelons from like the super tall platforms,
Yes.
Yeah.
or like onto
Yes.
trampolines, or like
Yep.
they'd throw the darts off of these like courses and hit the target. Those were always really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I remember that.
when I was little, I would watch the stop motion Lego videos.
Ooh.
'Cause that's just what filled YouTube at the time,
Those are cool.
back
Wow.
when YouTube was first starting out,
Yep.
way back in the day.
Way back in the calm down.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, back
People
in,
don't really watch
17
You
YouTube
can't have
though.
back in my day stories yet, Xavier.
1702.
1702?
Right?
1702.
I was
That's
like 19.
that's when I was born.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
You mean 2004?
No, 1702.
Sure.
Yeah. 2004 was is just the date I say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so people don't think I'm so old.
Oh, makes
But-
sense.
Yeah.
You got, because when I got the email that we were going to be talking about YouTubers and just YouTube in general, it was very nostalgic to go back and like look at all the stuff I used to watch and be like, I remember like like the feeling like of excitement that I would get from watching cooking shows or music videos.
Yep.
Just weird, you know. And
Yeah.
it's funny to go back and like listen to all that stuff again.
Oh, yeah,
But it's also very cringy.
there's a
I
lot of
couldn't-
YouTubers.
Right?
that I
Watching it
used to
now is
watch.
very
Mhm.
cringy.
I'm nostalgic for them though, you know. And
Yeah, it's a nostalgic type of cringy,
yeah.
which are the best kinds, obviously.
Oh man.
So my number 5 is a comedian named Samuel Comro. He was on America's Got Talent. He had Tourette's. I don't remember specifically any parts of his routine, but I do remember when he was like on AGT. I was like, man, this guy's funny. I don't remember it very well, but I know he had like one skit about a dog, and that one was my favorite one that he had done
Yeah.
like the entire time he was on the show.
They had like a talking dog that went on too, I think, or was that Britain's Got Talent? I can never tell.
I don't know. Simon's on both, which doesn't help anything.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
he's everywhere with that
He
show.
really is.
It's just on every single one.
Any like Got Talent, Simon's there.
Yep.
But where is this
Always.
guy now?
He doesn't make quite as family-friendly content as AGT requires, so
Oh.
I don't watch him as much anymore. But some of his content is still really funny. He puts a lot of it on like YouTube and stuff like that.
You can find him on Instagram too.
Yeah, and I think he's got a Twitter too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He's cool. He laughs at his own jokes too,
He
which
does.
is it makes it a lot more funny.
I've never heard of him.
Me either. I think I might have
Okay,
seen
Marisol, we
I
got
think
it.
I might have seen that episode, but like I've seen a lot of AGT before, so there's kind of people that come up and they kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my number 5 would probably be the Nerdy Nummies. That I watched that like consistently, like in the ages of like 7, 8, 9 years old. But I don't know how to like bake, and so I wouldn't like follow any of the instructions. I just watch her do it because
Yeah.
she had this like personality that was just so like energetic. And you're just like, I want to be just like you. But like going back and like watching what she does, it's too cringy. I can't do it.
So what does she do? What is this Nerdy
She
Nummies channel about?
Bakes.
Bakes?
She
Okay.
bakes, but like nerdy things. So like Starry
Okay.
Night cake.
Ooh.
She's baked a couple
She did
of
like
things
emoji cakes. And
Wow.
She's done FNAF and a couple of other video games.
she did a music video. I remember that.
What?
Yeah, she made some music for a little bit.
Interesting.
A little bit
A
there.
little bit, yeah.
That was the only song I ever heard her sing.
Yeah.
But she's interesting. She was cooler to me when I was little. Less cool now. But
Boo.
there was a time when I was trying to, because it was this whole thing about like me really wanting to learn how to bake, and so my friend Mari and we decided to make tortillas, like homemade tortillas, and we had the pan and we had the grease on there, or like the cooking oil,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of cooking oil on there, and so keep in mind, I don't know the first thing about cooking or life or any life skill, apparently, according to the story, but I grabbed a handful of paper towels and kind of put it on the pan to sort of soak up the grease that was on there, and the stove was on. And so I lit the whole wad of paper towels on fire, and then I threw it on the stove, because obviously I didn't want to light my hand on fire. Long story short, I don't cook and I don't bake. Never again.
Wow.
It was terrifying.
That sounds
She doesn't
very
let me.
terrifying.
She doesn't let me cook in her house anymore, so, which is fair because I almost burnt everything
You
down.
lit everything on fire.
Yeah.
Jeez. I'm gonna give it a second chance.
But
one of these days.
people who can cook very well are admirable. You can cook.
I can
cook.
bake.
You can
I don't
bake.
like cooking. I
like
like
cooking.
baking.
Cooking's fun. I'll cook
can't do
food.
either.
I can DoorDash,
You can DoorDash. Same. DoorDash.
even though I've never done it before.
Yeah.
I could.
I have. Yeah. It's kind of scary though.
DoorDashing?
Yeah, I just don't want him to get like too comfortable with my location, you know?
Yeah, that is weird, giving your information to like someone you don't know.
I'm just worried they're gonna mess up my order.
What? Or
Well,
eat it.
Or eat it.
Or that
Did
too.
you know 85% of DoorDash people and Uber, they actually have admitted
Yeah.
to taking it? And that's the people that admit it,
Yeah.
That's gross.
to taking food from it.
No, I mean, I'll just drive to the
I mean,
place.
it's
Yeah,
fair.
right,
Yeah.
Get there. Or make your own food at home.
Yeah.
But if you cook,
I make
I guess that isn't a
Yeah.
I don't cook either.
I don't feel like burning my house.
You gotta
down.
learn. You gotta learn.
I make a bomb.
I have
quesadilla.
learned.
Start slow and don't start with cooking oil.
Fire.
Find something else.
Start with microwaves.
Microwaves.
Or like noodles. It's really hard to
Noodles.
mess up noodles.
Can't mess
Are you
I mean,
sure
you can
about
burn
that?
noodles. I've seen
You can
Xavier
burn
burn
noo-
noodles.
I've never burnt noodles. Excuse me?
The ramen in the microwave?
Okay, burn the
Yeah.
cup, not the noodles.
Okay, well, in turn, you
But
burn
like
noodles.
actual
Yeah.
noodles, like if you boil them on the stove, it's kind of hard to mess up. So start with
Yeah.
noodles.
I can make pasta from the box. Like you just throw
Yeah.
it in the pot and then
Yeah.
you boil it.
From scratch, pasta's a lot harder. But like
Yeah,
boxed
we're
stuff,
not
Scratch?
it's fine.
Like make the
Excuse
noodles.
me?
Yeah.
That's like
Okay.
factory stuff.
That's fair. Noodles, they look cool when they make them.
They
You
look
know?
Yeah.
cool.
When you make them
I like to make cereal.
from scratch.
No. Milk in a bowl and some.
I grind down the grain.
Yeah. I go pick it too.
I go milk cows for the milk.
Yep. Imagine. I
I
have
like
cows.
I like
have
chocolate
heifers.
milk in my
Do you actually
milk,
have
so I
cows?
milk the brown
They're called
cows.
heifers.
For chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Brown cows give chocolate milk?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. What about strawberry cows?
There's no strawberry.
I don't know.
there's
You'd
a
think that
Maybe
they
strawberry
would
blonde
give
cows,
strawberry
because like
milk.
strawberry blonde. So like maybe if they're blonde,
Blonde
you get
cow.
strawberry milk.
What if you dyed them
The
blonde?
caramel colored ones?
Or not blonde, pink.
Yeah, maybe if you dyed in pink.
Yeah,
If you dyed them pink, the
But like a
milk
straw-
changes. Like, that's how it works.
obviously.
I don't think so.
Being a total
think that's how
buzzkill,
it
Sean.
Yeah, what if you buzzed it and it had no hair? Clear milk?
Water.
Wait, what do cows drink?
They drink water.
Water.
Milk?
Well, okay, well, if you think about it that way.
Calves drink milk, sure.
Milk drinks milk. I mean, cows.
Excuse me.
Milk.
Milk drinks milk.
That's not how that works.
Milk makers need milk to make the milk. You can't just make milk out of nothing, right?
But if you think about it like that, the first person to discover that milk was edible,
Yeah.
you know? You gotta
Got
think
milk.
about that one.
They had a cow.
Yeah, they had a cow.
They had a
Like they freaked out. Oh, I had a cow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyway. Anyway.
What's your five?
Yeah, what's your
My five is Samuel L. Jackson.
Who's that?
Oh, he's a
Nick
he's a
Fury
Nick
in the
Fury.
Marvel
Yeah.
movies.
Oh,
And
Nick
he's-
Fury?
What's his name in Star Wars?
He's a
Obi-Wan.
no,
Mace Windu.
Mace
Mace
Windu.
Windu, yeah.
Mhm.
but he's a hilarious actor, and I can't say his signature line, but I
He
love
is,
it.
Good
he's a
choice.
very good actor. He's a very cool person too. When interviews
he's so
and
cool,
such.
and
He
he's
seems humbling.
he's
Yeah.
really relaxed and like
You know when
I
they
think he would be one of the people that would be like really nice to his like celebrity handlers, like
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
because
he
like
is.
people at Comic Cons, you know, they take care of them and they like get them water and food and different things like that. And some of them, like up front, they act really nice, but in the back, they're really, really awful people.
Yeah.
I think he would be someone who's actually like genuinely nice to them.
I'd hope so too. I'd hope that for any cool actor that I've seen on
Yeah.
film.
Surprising that some of them are.
Some of them are not so nice.
Some of them are very, very rude.
Yeah.
Do you know that when they asked Samuel L. Jackson to be in Star Wars, he said he'd only do it if they gave him a purple lightsaber?
Yep.
And that's why he's the
That's
only
it.
one
That's
who ever
it.
has
There's
a
no
purple
lore
one.
behind it. He just wanted
Yeah.
purple.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. He just wanted
And
to be special.
he said
and
he
have
wouldn't
purple.
do it unless they gave it to him.
And because he was Samuel L. Jackson, they
That's
did it.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
what a good
everyone's
guy.
thinking there's like lore behind why it's purple and why he's the only
Nope.
one. No, it's
He
just because
just
he
wanted
wanted it.
purple.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, they'll write in lore, but yeah.
Right off their frustration with Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah.
Who wants to go with their number 4?
Number 4. I also don't watch this guy anymore. Another one of those, that's why he's on the low end of the list. But number 4 is Roman Atwood. I don't know if you guys heard of him before, but he's this really family-friendly YouTube channel. His brand is called Smile More. And he started off with like, I think like RC cars and stuff and making that kind of content. And then he had a family, and then he like kind of had a house, and he would just make content from his backyard and pool stuff, challenges, friends.
Oh.
He like meets people, and now he had like his own business, so that's what helped him get money to like make cool. I love his like motto, smile more, and that's his like brand. And now he like does a lot more like vlog type stuff, and so that's why I kind of lost interest.
Yeah.
But he's still a cool guy. I loved watching those videos as a kid. It was really cool. It was like uplifting.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
That does sound cool. What business do you know? Does
It's
he
like
own?
clothing.
Oh,
It's like clothing. It's a branding. Like what most YouTubers do is like stickers and shirts and that kind of merch. Yeah, that's what it's called, merch.
Merch.
And he had a warehouse, and apparently it grew too big that literally he had to make a warehouse in Texas
Oh.
just for his stuff
Wow.
well, good for him.
Yeah.
and his family. So it's so cool. But yeah.
I wish I was that popular.
No, yeah. With popularity, there's a thing. They've had some YouTube channel videos where they had to like move out of their house because someone got their address, and people do that. So they literally had to move, and they went through like a few rough patches, and they like left YouTube for a while, and then came back, and then it's like that's
Well,
when
it's
they
really
changed.
scary
That's such
Yeah.
a
to like have
terrible
any
thing.
That's why being
level of
popular
like
is scary.
popularity.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not popular.
That's the reason.
That's the reason. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, definitely.
That's why I'm
You
not.
could do it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
Life choice. It's a
Always.
mindset.
Honestly, like this podcast is probably gonna get us like super popular.
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Our like most expensive list will be really bigger than that next time.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So my number 4 is Rosanna Pansino, which is Nerdy Nummies. I think so. I like baking. I've never personally followed any of her recipes.
It's hard to.
I have my own baking horror story. When I was younger, I was in something called 4-H, which everybody
Yes.
thinks of for like livestock and stuff.
Yep.
But they have a whole bunch of other projects too. And I was in the baking project, and we were baking in the kitchen, which was like honestly kind of sketchy in the 4-H building. I'm surprised it like didn't have more problems than it did. And like I had a really old like hand mixer, like an electric hand mixer, blew up in my face. So I still like to bake. Somebody else does the mixing.
Wow.
Will not touch that mixer.
How did that happen?
I have no idea.
like the mixer
But it-
blew up
like
or the
the
batter blew up.
No, like the mixer, it like exploded a little bit, and so
Ooh.
like the pieces went everywhere, and then it started like smoking, and it was like on fire. And
Yeah.
but I still like to bake.
Gotcha.
Good.
But I really like her content because like I don't watch it very often anymore, but like seeing what she does, I think is really cool. So she's done some like my favorite one she's ever done. She did a Starry Night cake
Ooh.
a little while ago, like maybe a few weeks ago, and like she still comes up because I've subscribed to her channel, you know, so she shows up on my like page on YouTube, and I'm like, man, I remember watching her like all the time.
So how does she do that? She paints with like frosting
Yeah,
Well, there's
by
like
hand?
you can use like
you can use, like,
fondant or like
paintbrushes.
paintbrushes. You can
Like edible
print the
Edible?
images. Like there's like edible printing and all
Yeah,
sorts of
there's-
stuff that you can
But
do.
she did this by hand, right? Because the
mean,
printing
she,
is just
like-
like flat.
Yeah,
This has
she
texture,
made the
right?
she made like the cake normal, you know, and then
That's crazy.
when she was frosting, she did it kind of similar to how everybody thinks of like Van Gogh's like textured paintings.
Oh yeah.
And the
With a
Starry
little
Night is my
spackle.
personal favorite, so I was really thrilled to see that one.
That's so cool. And that's a big cake, right?
Fairly big cake. It's probably a normal sheet cake.
Yeah.
So
Y'all talking about food channels that you watch that you don't actually cook anything from them?
well, it's
I
more
wish.
satisfying to like
Yeah.
watch them
Mhm.
do it.
watch the process, you know. It's
Right.
like when they would like cook things,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
It reminds
Yeah.
me of my mom watching Rachel Ray and not actually cooking anything from her.
Okay, but Rachel
Yeah.
Ray I think is a
Oh,
little bit
Rachel
more
Ray?
annoying
Oh yeah.
than Rosanna, because like Rosanna just has like a more like bubbly like
Personality.
Yeah.
And then she's very much aimed at a younger audience too.
yeah she's
Yeah.
aimed at the younger kids, so like that's why I don't watch her as much anymore. But
Yeah.
when I was like learning to bake, I actually joined a cake decorating program because I liked
Oh.
what she did. So like when I was in 4-H, I was in baking, and then they were like, you know, well, you could do all of these other projects too. And I was like, but if I do cake decorating, I can be like her. And so I did join cake decorating, and I did like a floral design. Like she had done an episode where she was talking about how like you make flowers on cakes and different things. And so I did something like that, and I entered that in a state fair. So
Wow.
it's kind of cool.
Did
Do
you,
you
what did you
anything?
get? Well, yeah, what place?
Honestly, I don't remember. I have way too many ribbons to really tell you the truth.
Whoa.
Okay.
I was in
Got
4-H
us
from
popular
brag
over
or
here.
anything.
I was in 4-H from 3rd grade all the way through high school.
Wow.
And I was in like 12 or 13 projects at a time. So I would enter something for everything in every category. So like I was in
Holy
arts and
cow.
crafts, and I would do self-made, and then I would do like 4 or 5 different of the other breakdowns. So they'd be like painting and drawing and different things, and I would like enter one in like everything.
You didn't do any livestock though?
No.
What? No sheep, goat, chicken, duck,
Nope, never had livestock.
rabbit.
Although the most interesting project I think they had in 4-H, I never did it because I didn't have a tropical fish, but they had a tropical fish program.
Wow.
I'm kind of curious. I
So,
really
like-
wish I would have known what that was about.
Yeah, like, hang on a second.
Hang on, the
What
shark.
do you do with the tropical
I have
fish?
no idea.
Wow.
When you cook it, you.
Oh.
I have
What
no
do you do
clue.
with it?
I have no clue. I didn't join it because I didn't have a tropical fish. If you
It's
were in
like
any of the animal
tricks.
projects, you had to have your own. So like if you were in like the dog project, they teach you to like train your dog, but you know bring your own dog and they teach it how to do basic
So maybe,
things like
yeah,
sit.
maybe
and-
you're right. Maybe it's like train
Train
your
your-
tropical
train your
fish.
tropical
I wonder how one
jump through
trains a
hoops.
fish though.
Oh, like
maybe
through the
maybe it's
hoop.
like a little circus fish.
Roll over.
Roll.
Yeah,
Play dead.
4-H
That
was
game
really
gets too
cool.
real, man.
I was in 4-H for like 1 year for archery.
Yep.
That's pretty
I
fun,
did shooting sports
but that's
for
all
a
I
long
did.
time.
So like, I know my sister does it a lot, and so she gets a lot of stuff too. But I don't think she's been doing it as long as you. So you must have a ton.
I have a
Ton.
little, I have like a shelf and I'm like,
Holy cow!
goes
You
there.
have a shelf
Yeah,
of trophies?
trophies and ribbons and stuff.
They give you so many ribbons.
Yeah,
like,
you
even
get-
for sixth
Like
place.
it doesn't matter what place you get a ribbon. So they give ribbons for 1
nice.
through 6, and then they give participation. So you get that, and then the
Participate.
thing
love
is
the
like
ribbons.
you start off with the regional competition. So everybody comes in and they basically judge to see who's good enough to go to state, right? So you get a ribbon for that, and then you go to state, and then you get a ribbon for that. Even if you like don't win anything, you get like a KOB4, like you were on the news kind of ribbon.
Gotcha. Very
Um,
cool.
And so you get a ribbon for literally everything. And they do the same thing for shooting sports too. You get a ribbon for literally everything.
I want a ribbon.
I always got the
I didn't,
participation
but
ones.
okay. Well, yeah. So your cake decorating lady was your fourth,
Cake
right?
decorating. My fourth is Captain Sparkles.
Ooh.
He's a Minecraft YouTuber. Does
Okay.
Minecraft Let's Plays,
Okay.
whatnot.
Yeah, he's cool.
Explains the username a little bit.
Yeah. No, yeah, I don't watch him as much anymore, but like he was like the first kind of YouTuber or first-ish YouTuber I watched, and I still watch him enough that I consider him kind of nostalgic for me, and he has a place in my heart. But even if he does kind of make childish stuff.
That's fair though, because like Minecraft and like Legos and stuff like that, especially I feel like for people who are 20, 18, that
Yeah.
age category, it's really nostalgic. Because like those are like the toys, like Nerf guns especially,
Nerf, yeah.
those were the toys that you grew up with. And those are the toys that
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
made your childhood. So I get the nostalgic factor in that.
Yeah, and there's a couple who I used to watch, like the first Minecraft YouTuber I ever watched. What?
I'm just wondering who you're gonna say because I think I know.
No, his name was Blitzwinger. Yeah.
Okay.
No, and he's just changed so much, and like so many channels have changed over the years that they're, and some are just really annoying and just unwatchable now, and it's a shame. But
There was this one channel that was kind of the same as the one you mentioned, popular MMOs.
oh yeah,
Remember there was 2 people and then like they separated and then it's just not the same.
yeah, no,
Minecraft YouTubers were like my go-to too.
yeah, no, and now especially with like it's all super fast edited, and it doesn't hit the same. But
No
times
worries.
change.
Yeah, if you grow up,
Growing
sometimes.
out of it,
Sometimes.
depressing. But
Yeah, I remember getting motion sickness when I'd play Minecraft for
What?
too long. Because you get really into it, and then your tiny little brain can't handle all the movement and like everything that's going on. So you'd have to like
Okay, I see that.
take a breather.
take a
Yeah.
yeah, too much, too fast.
So what's your number?
My number 4 is someone called, or it's an account on YouTube called Learning About Movies. And I was watching some of his stuff earlier this morning because, may I say again, I am not a YouTube person. So I was watching his stuff this morning, and a lot of the stuff he was talking about, like the movies he was talking about, I very much disagreed with. So like you know like those people that you listen to even though you absolutely disagree 100%, but
Yeah.
you want to make sure you get every bit of what they're thinking before you completely tear them down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was just. Have you guys seen the Val Kilmer documentary? Do you know who he is?
Yeah, he's
Nope.
in the new movie, right?
I think he is
I swear
in
he's in
Top Gun.
he's Iceman.
He's Iceman, yeah.
Oh, maybe. But he's like cinematographer, actor type person. He made his own documentary, which is absolutely stunning. Are you sure he's in Top Gun?
Yeah.
Because he's got like that voice.
Yeah, he's in
that
Top
Yeah.
Gun, so they actually, he didn't say any lines in Top Gun. They pulled it from, so most of his lines in Top Gun were him communicating via like a computer, and so he would like type it out for Maverick. And then when he did actually talk to Maverick, it was old footage from the first Top Gun.
His
That's
son
very cool.
also did a lot of
did a lot
recording
of-
stuff,
yeah.
and he apparently sounds like him.
Yeah,
Which is
that
weird.
in the documentary, that's who's speaking. in
Yeah.
The entire thing. And so the whole documentary is like super touching, super cute. But this guy was like talking about everything wrong with the documentary. It's like, you're really, really stupid. Oh my God. And then there was another, I think he did one about like the Dark Phoenix. You remember the X-Men Dark
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
I haven't
It
seen
looked
it.
kinda
I don't know
bad.
what
I
that is
don't
either.
watch
Good
it.
stuff
I'm like
about
so
it.
lost with this. Dark.
Not good. It's a terrible movie. But he just has a lot of content that I disagree with. But I find it amusing that he is so
Passionate?
about his incorrect opinions. Yeah, so he's my number 4. I
Yeah.
don't think he is smart.
I think he's a dum dum.
Yeah, I think he is.
Jeez.
But
Yeah.
what about your number 3?
My number 3 is I would say this is another one I like probably watched before the last two, so it's kind of like ranking on who I still watch really. They're called Hoonigan. Basically, it's this car channel, and they have this car that they built. It was like a body of an old like 19-something Mustang chassis, and what that is just like the body of the car.
Right.
And they made it really cool and really fast. And they have this channel where they get people from around the world to like bring their cars and drag race the car they built. So like they challenge it, and it's won like more than 90% of its races because it's that crazy.
Wow.
And so they bring in random like things sometimes, like a Razor 4-wheeler with like 1,100 horsepower or something. And it's just so cool because I like cars and I learn a lot from watching them. So that's why.
Yeah.
But if I ever-
Educational.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. As I got older, I've been getting into more of that kind of stuff than the entertainment.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is really cool. I love car videos. So.
How much gas do you think they use up on a track?
Oh, dude,
Probably
gas.
a lot.
They also use different types of gas, like more.
Yeah, you have to use
It's a
premium
different-
gas or whatever.
It's like even different than that. Like they make it themselves or something, or they get it from like
No way.
actual race
They
cars
probably have
use
to have
different gas.
Yeah.
special gas
Yeah, it's
for
a
their
lot
engine build.
it's
Oh,
a lot of.
man.
It gets really technical because the way they work and stuff and how fast they go. It's a lot more than the gas that we have now.
Yeah.
A lot.
But they're making a lot of money.
But they're making a lot of money, and they like join into really popular things. Like there's going to be a big race coming up, and they just revealed like a new car that they built,
Ooh,
and
cool.
it's like crazy. But yeah,
Yeah.
That is
my
cool.
number 3.
So my number 3 is actually a tie between Dry Bar Comedy and Sophia Nagard. So Sophia, I watch her channel a little bit. Like she's not making content anymore very regularly, but I watched it a few years ago, and she would do like things that I just thought was really interesting. So she'd go to like, places that sell candles, and she'd buy every candle, and she'd get like a ice cream scooper and like scoop out a scoop of every candle, and then she'd melt it all down to see what flavors or like scents they use in candles the most. Melt them all together to see what like color, fragrance, and like that kind of stuff was most common between them, which I thought was really interesting because then you get to see like, what is the most popular like candle fragrance, because people are like, oh, I really like this candle scent, but what is like actually on like the big business end, their
Yeah.
like top
Gotcha.
seller. And so I thought those were kind of interesting, and she would like melt down like lipsticks to see what the like most common lipstick color was, and so I just thought those were kind of cool. Dry Bar Comedy, I don't watch them very frequently, but their comedy routines are very, very funny. My favorite one in particular from them is about a bike lock. I'm gonna butcher it because I don't know it word for word, but basically, it's the idea of like, do you understand how much power you have with your imagination in a bike lock? You could walk up to a Baskin Robbins and it's like, you're closed. Like,
Actually, I know
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
and so like, in particular, like those comedy routines are hilarious to me.
Yeah.
So I have to put them on there because my favorite comedy routine, for sure.
So that's the ties, the bike lock dude, skit, whatever they do, and the melting stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even in the same genre,
No.
but like,
They
Like
are
entertainment wise, you find them the same. Like
Yeah.
I enjoy these the same.
Gotcha.
Okay,
I can see that though.
Hmm.
Enjoyment levels.
you're closed.
You're
You're
close.
done.
Imagine.
that is literally my favorite part of his.
You're just, like,
You just
eating
walk
a-
up to a Baskin Robbins, it's like, you're closed.
That's crazy.
Or another part of it is like, he says, you know what else is not stealing? Putting an extra bike lock on a stranger's bike.
Oh yeah, there you go. It's not stealing, it's just mean.
So it's all,
It's
all
just an
revolves around
inconvenience. Yeah,
bike locks.
that whole episode revolves around like the bike lock, but it's
Yeah.
extremely
Wow.
hilarious to me.
That is funny.
Wow.
Oh man, no. My number 3 is it's a YouTube channel called Channel Awesome, and they do
Awesome stuff.
awesome stuff. It sounds like a channel I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
No, but they do like movie reviews, and it's like nostalgic movies. They have a thing called a nostalgia critic. So he critiques nostalgic movies, and usually they're like classic shitty movies.
See, I don't know if nostalgic movies should actually ever be like critiqued.
Yeah,
Just because like they're nostalgic for a reason.
I guess.
You know, and it's like if I'm looking at a nostalgic movie, obviously, like if it is that like bad and poorly made, then everybody's gonna know why it's poorly made. You know, and so there's no point in critiquing it or making a channel really more about the nostalgic factor than saying, yeah, this movie sucks because of point
Well-
A, B, C, D,
well,
and so forth.
It's
And because
not.
it's older. I mean,
It's
Yeah.
not particular.
we've changed and evolved.
But it's fun to watch somebody go and watch like ScoobyDoo, the island thing.
Whoa! You critiquing ScoobyDoo?
The new
No,
ScoobyDoos,
no.
yeah.
No. The old Scooby-Doos shall remain untouched.
I'm talking Scooby-Doo Monster Island or whatever.
Okay, well, we don't
Such
talk
a
about
good
that.
one.
No, but
It
that's
didn't need to be
that's
made
the kind
into
of that's the kind of
live
stuff
action.
he
Yes, it did.
reviews, and he's like, he watches it over the top, and and does like an entertainment thing, and he's like, oh man, it's so, and
Yeah.
but it's fun. I don't
I
know.
mean, sometimes it's fun to look back at those movies that you were like, man, I love this movie. Like, one of my favorite movies of all time is the like original Daredevil movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie so
Ooh,
much. I go
wow.
back and I watch it and I'm like, this is so bad. Why do I like
Yeah.
this? It's so bad.
No. And that's what's great about nostalgic movies, because somebody you can watch a whole thing on why it's not a great movie and why people don't like it, but you still love the movie because it's
Right.
nostalgic.
Well, it's the memories, you
Yeah,
know, like the way
exactly.
it made you first feel, and then you carry that with you rather than the actual movie.
Yeah. I feel like I never remember it and then I watch it and I'm like, wow, that really is bad.
But you gotta be careful with that because you could ruin it for yourself
Yeah.
so quickly.
Childhood gone.
Yep.
Yep.
Let me see. I need
Fun.
what are we on? Number 3.
Yep, you're on 3.
My number 3 would probably be. Let me think. Okay, Mr. Sunday Events. He's another movie person. He goes back and he doesn't critique movies though. What he does is he talks about like behind the scenes and like things that happened during like the film shoots. Like he talks about this one. He calls it the Spider-Man suit heist or something like that, and about like how the first Spider-Man movie, The Amazing Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, how like 4 of their Spider-Man suits went missing. So it was this whole thing about trying to get them back because they were like $50,000 each, and they made like, hang on, I wrote it down.
Wow.
They had 60 suits made, and so it was about $3 million of an investment into those suits. And so when 4 of them went missing, everyone went crazy, and they were like, "Gotta get these suits back, man." And then it was this whole thing about how this woman got divorced from her husband, and her husband turned out to be the thief. And he had like 3 of the 4 suits, and it was this whole thing. But he talks about it in detail and stuff, and so it's cool to see like what happens behind the scenes of these super cool movies.
Wow.
And so he's pretty interesting. It's so cringy though to listen to their humor, because they'll try to squeeze some stuff in there, and it just doesn't work. And so you're sitting there, you're like,
Yeah.
shouldn't have said that.
I was
It's,
watching an interview for, I think it's called Uncharted.
Yeah.
It was
With,
like
what's his name?
With
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who his co-star was.
The
Brad.
They were on another movie together.
I want to say Brad Pitt, but I know it's
And
not Brad Pitt.
he said that on that like other movie that they were filming, that one day Tom Holland literally just showed up in a Spider-Man suit, like way before he ever got cast as Spider-Man.
oh
He
What?
yeah,
just showed up and he was like, that man has manifestation powers.
manifested that part. He really did. That was funny. I know exactly what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
I can't believe I forgot his name.
Yeah, I remember him. I'm not very good at actors' names, but I do remember their character faces.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty bad
Yeah.
at their actual names sometimes.
People know that. I'm like, what? How do you know this? People, you watch too much KOB for Fox News.
Yeah.
Well, he's the star of Ted.
Ah,
movie
the
with the bear.
What's your
Wow.
number 3, Sean?
My number 3 is actually, I think it's
Face
called.
ID. Oh,
I know my phone came down. It's called. I don't know if this is official name, but it's like what it's known for. It's because I want to learn. Like if I'm doing dishes, I'll just like put it on like to the side and learn something. If I listen to it all the way,
Yeah.
Okay.
like I love learning about cars, like I said. So I do that sometimes, or like random things like about blood types and the rarest blood type or something. I know random stuff about that, or
nice.
like just recently, I think the most recent videos I saw from them were like how turbos work in cars and like what's the difference between that and like
So,
superchargers and
so
stuff.
it's like you learn something new every day
Yeah.
kind of channel.
Kind
Nice.
of, yeah. But it's like an older channel,
Mm.
so it's like kind of made funny the way they edit and stuff. But I love it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 2.
What about you,
And your
Clarissa?
number 2?
So my number 2 is game theory.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Not
okay,
bad.
okay.
Yeah,
I know
I'm
that
very here
one.
for Matt
At
Pat's
least I know one of
theories.
them.
Sometimes they're just really, really interesting. I think the most recent one I watched, he like redid his Doki Doki literature ones. And so I went back and I watched the original ones first. Because at the time when they first came out, like I wasn't watching Matt Pat.
Right.
And so I went back and I watched those, and then I watched his new ones, and it's really interesting because they added like a whole new section to the game that basically is like, well, actually everyone's in a simulation. And so he like talks about why he thinks that. And so like seeing his theories are really, really fun sometimes. Just because like they're theories, they're not meant to be right.
Yeah.
But like sometimes he's so passionate
Connects the
about it.
dots.
Yeah. And he connects dots in ways that like you wouldn't really think. Like just because Markiplier has been replaying all of the Five Nights at Freddy's,
Yeah.
his FNAF theories came up, and so I was like, okay, I'll humor you, I'll watch him.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so like in one of his most recent theories, he was like, it was talking about security breach, and one of the characters in there, his name is Gregory.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be this little lost kid, but like there's no ID for him, and nobody knows why he's in the Pizzaplex and this whole thing, right? He's like, so actually Gregory's an animatronic, but he has no idea why. And he went into this whole theory about why it's true and how the books prove that it's true and how it's been proved through the series in like 5 or 6 different ways, and how the books are like canon, but canon in a slightly separate like alternate like dimension universe, because like
Yeah.
the characters exist in the game world, but the book world is like slightly different, and went through this whole thing, and I'm like, wow. Honestly, I think he has like a really fun job though. Like I think
Yeah.
I would enjoy doing something like that, you know?
Yeah,
Like just coming up with stuff
definitely.
like that.
Yeah. No.
Wow.
I
I've never been lost before more in my life.
Yeah. No, I recently rewatched all of his Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, and
But nice.
it's all very, I could see it being true, but it also is very out there.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
Although they're trying to open, like there's a company trying to open like an actual Five Nights at Freddy's.
What?
Yeah.
There's no way.
It's like the
No way.
same
Whoa,
company
whoa,
that
whoa.
opened the like Mr. Beast restaurant or whatever.
Oh,
What?
They're making a physical location for FNAF.
Where?
Didn't
like,
the Mr. Beast
We know
restaurant,
this is a disaster. Like,
He makes crazy
The
stuff.
Beast Burger or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And now he has chocolate bars.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't put Mr. Beast on the list, but he
Neither
can be an
did I.
honorable mention.
My
Yeah.
brother's gonna be so mad at me because I didn't put him on there.
Can't
Wow.
believe you.
Mr.
I've never seen Mr. Beast. It's
Neither
okay.
have I.
It's okay.
I
They're
only hear the
children.
stories. What are we on? Number 2? Number 3?
Number two.
Number
two.
two.
My
Number
number 2 is the piano guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait, they do like Omega and stuff, right?
Oh, I have no idea. All I know about the piano guys is that they do really cool instrumental covers of music. And
okay,
all that stuff.
yeah,
They've
definitely have seen that.
got, what's the really big violin one?
Cello?
Cello. They do cello solos
Or
and all
bass.
that stuff. They're
Or
very
Bass
cool.
is the one that's like people-sized. Cello's the
Oh.
one that they sit down.
Yeah,
so it just
cello.
kinda-
Cello,
Yep.
cello. Mhm.
Cello.
They're really cool. I love classical music so
Mhm.
much. And a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
Classical music is really nice.
I like
It is.
classical
It
music.
is
love
really
instrumental
nice.
music.
I have like 3
Instrumental.
Spotify playlists of classical music.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's very.
I don't listen to it though.
I grew up with classical ballet, and so
Oh, okay.
there's like a connection there. You know, every time I hear the classical music, it's like ooh, I can feel the flow and all that stuff. It's super cool. And
You
so
start
I
dancing?
love. No, that's
What?
cringy.
Oh no.
No.
She said there's a line.
Right here, we're staying on this side. But they're really cool. They do a lot of cool music.
Yeah.
What about you?
My number 2, Kevin Hart. Because
What?
I like Kevin Hart.
He has a YouTube channel?
No, he's an entertainer though.
He has
He's a comedian,
actor,
right?
comedian.
and an
Kevin
actor.
Hart is the
Guy.
funniest man.
That's hilarious.
So
He's
funny.
okay. He was in Jumanji, right? He was
Yeah,
the
yep,
with the
Yeah,
backpack.
he's the
Yep.
short. He's
Okay.
the really short.
The
guy.
short
Okay.
key.
Him and Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson.
True.
are buns.
Oh,
I love
that's
when
great.
they like collab. It's so
He,
funny.
They
they
do.
have
They're
like
so good together.
5-second clips that just make you laugh so hard for no reason.
I love his rap battle like parodies on YouTube. They're hilarious.
He's funny.
Yeah, Kevin Hart. He's just so funny. I love all of his movies. He's great. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
And he seems like a decent guy in person too, I think. But
Seems like a decent guy. You've seen him in
Met
person?
him?
I've not met him.
Oh.
No.
Gotta meet him. Gotta get him on the
So
podcast.
I don't.
Yep.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
Kevin Hart. If you're out there and you want to come be our special guest on Intern Top 5, feel free to message us at
Any of our social media.
any of our social
Yeah.
medias. We'll cover those at the end of the episode, but feel free, come hit us up, please.
Free of charge.
Did you do your number 2?
Hmm?
You did? Okay, what are we at?
Now we're on
One?
ones.
Yep.
They're at one.
Top.
Number
Ones.
one.
This is it. Our number one.
What's your number 1, Sean?
My number one is Whistling Diesel. I don't know if you guys heard of him. Probably not. He's another car dude. But he's really out there on YouTube.
Hmm.
He's really like different than everyone. It's really like he's almost on the same level as Mr. Beast, but over the line.
Oh yeah.
But he's not as popular. So he does these crazy things where like it makes you cringe, but he does it because of that factor.
Because it
but
makes you
people
cringe?
love him
Yeah.
for it. Basically, for example, he bought these really expensive cars called you guys know what a Lamborghini is, right? Yeah. Okay. Lamborghini, everyone knows that. I'll just
Know what
mention
a
that because a
Lamborghini
lot of
is.
people know that.
No.
So he bought those custom, spent like well over hundreds of thousands of dollars on it. And then just one casual video, he's like, let's test the glass. And he just shatters the back. And it's a mid-engine vehicle, so the glass just falls into the engine and everything. He's just shattering it, and that's it. That's one of his videos, and he just does things that no one wants. And he destroys vehicles. He got this really expensive Hellcat, put like wagon wheels, and just did burnouts until it crashed. And then
That's
like
awful.
it's so cool though. Like you can't not watch it. Like
Yeah.
Can't look away.
yeah, and like he's just out there, and I think it's so cool because the reason he bought that Lamborghini was actually like a way of him telling like the haters like to back off or like look at me now because he
And they
bought that money with the
destroyed it.
people that like don't like him because
Yeah.
they would have hate comments and he would just get stuff for like people telling him
Comments still boost your videos.
yeah for real
Hate comments or not.
they spend their time to write them to you. It's like hey.
Yeah.
But like there was people that were telling him like, man, why are you destroying these things? You could have given it to homeless people. You could have sold it and helped for charity. And then like he does some of that stuff. He gives money away, but
Yeah.
that's his content. And he's growing. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's why I like him. Out of the box thinker.
Yeah.
What
That's
about you,
fun.
Clarissa?
My number one is Markiplier.
Ooh.
I've been watching him the longest, and you know, sometimes when I open up YouTube because there's literally nothing else on, you know, he's what I pick. I'm like, well, he's got something new without fail.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I go down like the rabbit holes. Like he recently made the like In Space with Markiplier or whatever. I went down the rabbit hole and I watched it. I'm about halfway through right now of going down literally every choice pattern to get every single one of his videos from that.
Yeah.
So that you actually see like every possible like ending
I want to
that
do
you could have
but
gotten.
That's hard.
See, okay, I'm only doing it because Matt Pat released a theory and he was like, theory about this. And I was like, well, now I got to go see all the endings before you spoil it for me. Because I did it like 2 or 3 times, just like choosing random ones just because I was curious. And then I was like, well, if Matt Pat's like actually going to cover everyone, I feel like I should actually see it before Matt Pat like covers it for me.
Yeah.
And what are
So-
these videos about?
Well, Markiplier's a Let's Play, like
Let's Play?
gamer YouTuber.
Like, so you
but-
watch him
But
play
he-
games?
But
Yeah,
he does
but
like
he does a lot of
YouTube
other
Red
things, too.
stuff.
And he's got like skits and like different characters. So he's got like Wharf Stash,
Yeah.
Darkiplier, and like a couple of the other ones that he does. And so he'll make like videos on those. Like he made a heist with Markiplier a few years ago, and then he had like a mini series where it was like he was a detective, but he was also like, I don't know, somebody like really rich and famous who like died, and you know
But
he had to like
it-
figure out why he died, like a whodunit basically.
It's all kind of choose your own adventure kind of stories.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like when he does
So he's
those,
like an
I think they're
actor.
really really cool.
You watch through the video and it's like a 2-minute video and then you click on what choice you want to make.
Yeah,
Really?
so like in his
Huh.
In Space with Markiplier, like there's a catastrophe that happens right away, and it's like, do you want to put out the fire or do you want to do this other thing, like ask for help?
Yeah.
And if you like
And so you click
choose
the
to
next
ask
video.
for help, then like you get somebody else, but like now there's a fire and like maybe your engine's dead, you know. So you pick a choice and then you go down and he's like, okay, and then so that video starts and you know it's another like 2-minute video and then it gives you a choice at the end. So
Yeah.
Wow. I
it's
didn't
kind
know
of like
that.
the choose your own adventure books that you would read when you were little. I don't know if
Mhm.
I was the only one that did that,
I
but
did
like
that.
those were so
I
cool.
liked those.
Gotcha.
I didn't do that, but
I didn't do
interesting.
it. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Markiplier. I do know of him, but
Yeah.
I think my number one is called Button Poetry.
button.
It's like a YouTube channel for like slam poetry.
Oh, okay.
I really like poetry. I recently got into it a lot my last semester of high school because we did like a whole thing on like creative writing
Yeah.
and whatever. And I love it. I think it's so interesting that even when people don't know what to say in like a conversation, you always get the gist of it, you know? And even with a lack of communication, you can still communicate with facial expressions or fluctuations in, you know, your voice. Thank you. And certain words, they carry such a powerful weight to them. And so poetry is just a whole different world of like creative thinking. And so
How
I
you
love,
use those words.
huh?
How you use those words and such.
What do you mean? Like, have I written?
No, like it is a different way of using those words.
Yeah. Well, it's a performance.
Yeah.
And so instead of just saying like I sat at the coffee table, you could use your words, you could use emotions, you could use ways of making it into a story, you know, and it's less dull as I sat at a coffee table, you know. So I love poetry, and I love that people get so creative with how you touch an audience with words, you know. What's yours?
Going so fast, jeez. My top one is Kevin James.
Kevin James.
Also, he's a comedian, actor. What was he in that you guys would know him from?
He's like an actor.
Yeah, hold on.
Kevin James.
Kevin James.
Kevin James. He's this guy.
From
Oh,
the Zookeeper.
Yeah.
he's
Mall
okay.
Cop.
Mall Cop.
Oh,
He's
Come on.
King of
Yeah.
Queens.
Sorry.
Come on.
He's a big guy.
He was in a show too. What was the show?
King of Queens.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Wow.
He's in The Crew, Pixels. A lot.
Right, he's a comedian
Yeah,
too.
Pixels.
That's cool.
No,
That guy's funny.
he's really funny. He has a couple specials on Netflix, but he's one of my favorite comedians for sure.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I just like comedians named Kevin, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. I was gonna say, is he related to Kevin Hart?
That's my list.
Nice.
Number ones.
Yeah, that was our top one. Thank you all for joining us on this episode.
Yeah.
Feel free to leave us your own episode in the comments below or on any of our social medias, which is XStudioNM or ExploraNM on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, also YouTube. And our podcast is released on several different platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and a few others. So go give us a follow over there.
Yeah. And in the comments, be sure to tell us what you think of our Pokeball. And if you think traffic cones would have been better.
Guess what's
'cause
inside it?
Guess what's guess what's inside the Pokeball. Yeah. Dude, whatever. Why'd you mess it up?
Squished
It's all
I know,
squished
it's all
now.
messed up now.
Fix it.
Oh. Jeez. No.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
now you gotta fix it, man. It's giving me anxiety.
Yeah. Now we'll see you guys next time. Bye.